Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. This new moon is happening on July 14th at 22 degrees of Cancer. You can look in your natal chart if you have that and see where 22 degrees is and see what house is being activated for you. So we're going to pull, I'm using some, because it is a new moon, this is where we plant the seeds, this is where we initiate new beginnings, right? Or we carry through or begin something with a new beginning. I'm using the Moonology Manifestation deck, and I'm also using the Divine Abundance deck, and two other decks as well, just to get a message about what this new beginning looks like or what we see pulling through on the initiation of this new moon. First card up for you, release your block. So this is really sweet energy. This is Scorpio energy, so it does feel to me that either you are in a transformation right now, you've been going through a transformation, or you're needing to go through a transformation to release and surrender, to let go of things that have been blocking you, holding you back. First quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. So again, unleash, release, like there's a lot of letting go of some stuff, right? Like letting go of, could be the darker side, the lower vibrational energy, and embracing the higher vibrational energy, tapping into your higher self. That sort of thing is the energy I'm getting. Nonetheless, I feel like there's a transformation that's been taking place or is taking place. We did just have that full moon in Capricorn a couple weeks ago. I do have readings up on here. If you go to like I have collections where it's all Capricorn readings, Sagittarius readings, that sort of thing. But if you go, Sag, to the your Sagittarius readings and look for that last full moon reading in Capricorn, that might help give you additional information. There is also a collective reading that's out there for that Mars conjuncting Uranus on July 3rd. So that's another thing you may want to check out. I think these are all really tying in together. So also check your sun, moon, rising, Venus signs as well. That will help bring you additional information. Let's keep going. Let's see what other energies are showing up. Let's see. First card out, nothing is perfect. So, be mindful you are perfectly imperfect as a human that you are. Bottom of the deck is defeat doubt. I kind of feel someone's going through a transformation and they're torn between the low vibrational, like you might be really going through a transformation that's balancing or incorporating not only your higher vibrational self, but your shadow self as well. Big transformations when that happens. I do feel like this is talking to about someone who has been, maybe it's been a pattern or something that you do quite a lot, you know, like self-destruct by, you know, having a lot of doubts come into your mind or thinking a lot of lower vibrational energies. I kind of feel like that's a cycle that's being burned away. Or it's a cycle where you're just really recognizing that you do that and making a conscious choice and decision not to do that anymore, right? Like to not beat yourself down with fears, doubts, and insecurities. Yes, joy of generosity. So I'd love to see this too, because this said unleash your kindest self, and then the joy of generosity. Maybe you've had some pretty significant with Scorpio, the more deep, could have been very deep wounds somehow throughout your lifetime or through your upbringing or even in past lives or something like that, that are still carried forth in patterns, habits, hobbies, things like that that you do. Treasure of abundance is on the bottom of the deck. And I feel like this is saying, no, let's put that shadows, yes, recognize the shadow side, but let's lead with love. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this is about opening up your heart chakra and allowing, that to lead the way, like not allowing fears, doubts, and insecurities to be the ruler, right, of your path, your direction, that sort of energy is how I'm feeling. I'm really strongly feeling South Node, North Node, although none of these are the cards where those nodes are right now, but I am getting a feeling this is as a result of the nodes. So the nodes right now are switching from Pisces, Virgo, and going into Aquarius, Leo. So yeah, there's going to be a very powerful shift on that. And then we have virtue of humility. I've seen a lot, and the readings that I've been doing today, of like humbling experiences coming through, right? Ego deaths coming through. And that's probably why I was feeling so drawn towards those nodes, because when that south node gets into the sign of Leo, that is going to be where you see a lot of ego death, or it's going to be where you have a lot more people that are like kind of having to step in and tap into this internal strength, courage, and confidence to take action, make choices, do things like that. It's going to be a very powerful energy. Bottom of the deck is welcome change. This gives me that same vibe of defeat. Remember when we seen the defeat doubts? It kind of looked the same way. Like I feel somebody's going through a portal, a change, a transformation right now. And they're knowing what they're needing to release, or recognizing what is no longer serving them, that they've been holding on to, maybe even subconsciously holding on to. And I do feel like gaining truth and clarity and seeing it for what it is, and recognizing their role or your role in it, and knowing, when you know better, you can do better, and making that shift, that change. And I feel like this could be a very humbling experience. I feel like somebody's really opening up their heart chakra. And it's interesting because this deck I'm using is so beautiful, emerald green, heart chakra, right? All right, let's pull some clarifying. Nothing is perfect. Give us some energy and some messages on this. Nothing is perfect. Oops. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Oops. Too many cards. What is this message? What message for nothing is okay? All right, these two wanted to come out together. Wow. So this is how, when I went to grab them, they came out. Six of air in reverse to the Lover's card. I feel whoever I'm talking to, and this does feel like it's going to be more specific, it feels like to me whoever I'm talking to moved forward and made some bad choices and decisions when it came to connections. More so I feel partnerships, relationship-wise. I feel like they've entered into a lot of situations where they ended up being stuck, having to go through an enlightenment, going through an awakening, having to come through, heal, that sort of thing. And maybe they've been a little, like, I just feel deeply wounded. Let me say it like that, right? And maybe are standoffish or a little resistant to open their heart chakra, that sort of thing. But nonetheless, this reading is saying that's what's got to change, right? Um, that's how I'm feeling. That's what needs to change. It's like when you know better, you do better, right? When no more ignoring red flags, or no more, jumping into something just for the satisfaction of doing that, right? It's like doing your research, you're using that discernment. Messenger of air and the page of fire. So I feel like there is an opportunity that's coming in. I want to say test, but I don't want to say test, because I do feel like you are being tested, right? In regards to the action you're taking, but I also feel like it's a test of, are you going to stay closed off, shut down, or are you going to give something a chance? Queen of Fire, right there. I feel like somebody's going to give something a chance. I feel behind the scenes, like whoever I'm talking to, you may be going through this transformation right now, right? And I feel like instead of doing what you typically would do, like if you were go through a disconnection, a breakup, or bad relationship, anything, it doesn't matter, friendships, whatever. I feel like you're taking the time out to heal before moving forward. And I feel that's where your success in this transformation lies. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, like you're on the other side of that now. Like you have done the healing and now it's time to experience something new. And I feel like you're being tested to see, are you going to stay in that closed off heart chakra, or are you ready to step up to the plate and accept a real deal, right? Is how I'm feeling. All right, let's grab one more card on just that part right there, because I do feel this messenger, this is an offer, an opportunity that's coming in quickly, and I do feel like it's in regards to love, to connection, to somebody you know, maybe get to know and the connection deepens, and you know, that could be triggering for some of you who have gone through some challenging experiences, like I said. All right, let's see. One more card just for this pile. Oh, too many. One more card. One more card. Ooh. All right. Well, I guess I'm not getting one card. I'm getting two. Look at this. Yeah. In the past, somebody has gone through something that I feel was very painful. Like I feel emotionally like this person is looking like they're in so much pain. It was excruciating. We got the Page of Earth, so this, and I love to see the beautiful wings. And look, Ace of Air, that's the truth. Um, this is giving me that energy of, yeah, it's time. It's time, you know, you've done the healing and it's time to move forward. That's in the past. It's gone. Didn't we see, yeah, we've seen two release cards, two like big transformation taking place. So I feel like that part of this journey is over, and it's time for you to take a leap of faith and experience something different. And I feel like the reason the experience is different is because you've done something differently. You've taken the time to invest in yourself, self-love, like learn, heal, grow, evolve, gain a lot of wisdom and insight from where you've been into where you desire to go. So big, huge shift and change. Let's see this virtue of humility. Let's see what this is. Let's see what energy wants to show up for this message. First card out, World. Yes, this is, wow, the completion. It's the end. It is, I mean, you literally go from the World, major arcana, to the Emperor right there, which is talking about closing out that entire, like, this could have been very, you know, a very humbling experience for someone as they closed out, like, life as they know it, in order to step into their power and step into something solid. And if this was a bad relationship, like I strongly feel it's about bad relationships, right? I don't know why. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. You can leave me a comment and let me know. But I feel like in the past, if you like the partners that you were with, or the partner that you were with wasn't they weren't a protector, they weren't a defender, they weren't a provider, right? I kind of feel like you were the masculine and the feminine, and take either way, no gender specific. So this could take whatever way it resonates. But I feel like you had to like hold down both realms. I don't feel like you had a support system that was a defender, a protector, a provider, like somebody who did, you know, met their role and did their role or played their role or whatever it was. And I feel like, you know, some of you may have had a repetitive, or you know, that on repeat, where you meet people and it was the same thing, like you were always the all of that, and that cycle has ended. And I feel like it's a result of somebody going through this transformation and closing that cycle out, and now the real offer and opportunity, the real deal shows up. And again, don't let them doubts, insecurities, and you know, fears run you away from that. Yeah, Three of Fire. This is about moving forward. This is about growth, expansion, turning your back on the past, and look, going right towards the Six of Wands, which is victory, success, recognition. Like somebody who didn't appreciate you, you know, that's so be it. You know, that's on them. This is about you connecting with someone who does recognize and appreciate the value that you hold, and who will be there to hold, you know, space and play their role. Like I said, like be that protector, defender, provider, whatever it is, him or her. Next message that comes out, awakening. This is what I kept feeling. Somebody has gone through a transformation. They're awake now. They see things differently. Look, invite help. I feel like this is you calling in. And I don't necessarily, I know it says invite help, but I feel like this is you inviting in what you truly desire and want. And I feel like you're very specific. Like if you're looking for a partnership or a job or whatever, you're very specific on the details, the specifics of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I do feel is going on in this. You're calling something in, inviting the universe to step in and help align you with what you're meant to align with. Invite help showed up again. And I don't know if you can hear me shuffling and shuffling. Look at the bottom of the deck, worth. This is you knowing your worth, and this is you recognizing something worthy of you, someone worthy of you. So I feel like the universe is co-conspiring right now to align you with all of this, and it's a result of your hard work and energy and effort on doing the shadow work, to going through the transformation, to taking the time out to reflect and really go within. Next card is humility. This card, I'm telling you, I don't know why it's shown up in so many readings other than I can feel like the humbling experiences. And I love this owl too, because it talks about wisdom, right? Look at this. Look at this. True offering. This is awesome. This is what I'm saying. Like, and I'm sure during that experience that you had to release, surrender, go through the transformation, I'm sure that was a humbling experience for you. And now, no more fake offers. This is real deal. This is real offers. This is an offer that I feel is stable, secure, and is going to stand the test of time. So let's grab two more messages from the Divine Abundance Oracle. This is what's manifesting. There's liberation. Bottom of the deck is the inner child. Someone had some healing that they had to go, inner child healing. And now I feel like they're liberated. They're free. They're free to fly. They're free to attract. They're free to receive, like the real deal, like something authentic, something just as real as they are. And look, allowing it to come in. Wow. This is a beautiful reading. On the bottom is detachment. I feel like this is as a result of detaching from, like I said, that past energy, that lower vibrational energy gives me the vibe that somebody really went through some painful experiences in this lifetime. Maybe they were a little scorned or just very heartbroken and had a lot of, soul and heart damage. But I feel like they recognized somewhere along the line a pattern. And I feel like they didn't sweep that pattern underneath the rug or, turn a blind eye to it. I feel like they looked at that pattern, and I feel like they went within. They did some soul searching. They were humbled. They were going through an ego death, maybe through all of that stuff. Definitely having a transformation, and they created that change from the inside of them, and now it's reflecting external. Now they're attracting in what meets their higher vibrational self. I hope this message serves you well. If it does, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, my link is in the description box below. Have a great day. I will speak to you again soon. I'm sending you an abundance of love, light, and peace.